Hello and welcome to the Center for Spiritually Integrated Arts, a Centers for Spiritual Living teaching center. I'm Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson, the founding minister and spiritual director. You are invited to learn more about this new teaching center by following us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Subscribe, join, follow, and spread the news with others who may be interested in the work we are going to do in the world. Namaste and blessings. Time for service.
Greetings. So, today, after the message, as soon as I say, and so it is at the closing prayer, the closing benediction, the final words for today, feel free to come over to the Zoom room to join us for our opportunity to fellowship and converse and share and encourage and nurture one another, because that's what community does, after all. If you don't already have the Zoom link, then I strongly recommend that you send an email to spirituallyintegratederarts@gmail.com and do so as soon as possible, and the Zoom link will be sent to you. Otherwise, you won't be able to get in, right? So, yeah, it's going to be one of those days. So, yeah, make sure you send an email. You'll get the Zoom link, and then you can join on in for the good, the fun, the laughter, and all the stuff that we do. Now, it's March. March, not only is March my birthday month, but March is a new theme. March, the theme is cultivating authenticity. Now, the summary or the blurb for this theme: to live out loud means for us to fully express who we are and who we have come here to be. Now, throughout this month, we are going to explore the practice of what it means to cultivate authenticity, because authenticity empowers us to step into all areas of our lives, all areas, every area, family, occupation, hobbies, like every area of our life. And we do so with integrity, with our true, real, authentic self. Brene Brown offers a definition of authenticity as the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be, and embracing who we truly are. Cultivating authenticity is not about becoming something other than who you truly are. It involves releasing the patterns of thought, the patterns of attitude, the patterns of behavior, all of that stuff that serves as a barrier to who you truly are, your actual, authentic personal power and authority. And by taking up this practice or these practices, we develop the courage to be vulnerable, to be transparent, and to stand in our truth. That is going to be the overarching theme this month, and we will explore various parts of the practices for authentically living out loud. Today, specifically, in alignment with those practices, everyone else is already taken. Stop trying to copy off other people. I know imitation is said to be the sincerest form of flattery, but stop trying to be like other people. Be you. Everyone else is already taken. It has been said, be yourself, because everyone is already taken. And while we may nod our heads in agreement to this, we find ourselves sacrificing who we are. We sacrifice ourselves in order to fit in, which is different than belonging, in order to fit in and for others to like us and accept us and approve of us. Starting with our authentic self as an expression of the divine, we will explore the means by which we recover a consciousness of wholeness and holiness. Breathe. So, yes, this month is all about being your authentic self, being open and transparent. And yes, what who would I be if I didn't start with, Star Wars? So for those of you who are Star Wars, no, Tracy, not Star Trek. For those of you who are Star Wars aficionados, if I were to ask you, who is this? Who are they? Yeah, chances are you would say, oh, they're the stormtroopers. Well, what separates them or makes them different from these? Do you know what these are? Because they're different than the stormtroopers. And you may think, oh, well, they just have different armor. No, they're different. Well, how are these different? These are specifically called clone troopers. Why? Because they are clones. See, the stormtroopers eventually became people who were recruited into being in the Empire. Clone troopers were actually cloned to be the clone troopers. That's why they all look alike. And in the animated series, the interesting note is, even though the clones are, supposed to look alike, there is a certain batch, the Bad Batch, that don't look like they're supposed to and don't act like they're supposed to. And when Order 66 came across, they were able to not obey it. They realized there was something, they have their own personalities. Unlike the general clone troopers, which were in essence created to be very much like one another. Now, even they, according to the canon, the story, the animated series and whatnot, even within their ranks, there are still various individual expressions. So even though they may look 99% the same, they may sound 99% the same, there's still some aspect of their own individual personalities that shine through. Now, what does that have to do with you? You're not a clone. And as Ernest Holmes says, you are made out of life and from life. You are made. People are made out of life and from life. As effect must partake of the nature of its cause, so people must partake of the divine nature from which they spring, from which they originate. We did not create our nature. We cannot change that inherent reality. We can't change what we inherently are. We are what we are, and we use this nature for better or for worse. We get to choose. You are made out of and from and as this thing called life. It is your divine nature. What do you do with it? As he says, we use this nature. How are you using your nature? This past Wednesday in our Wednesday night Science of Mind discussion group, I gave a homework assignment because there's a part in the extension study course where Holmes says, where he, is referencing the law, and he says, we are encouraged, we are invited to know what it is and how to use it. So, do we know what it is? Do we know what our divine nature is? Do we know what the law is, the law of mind and action? Do we know what it is? And do we know what it is to such a degree that we know how it operates and how to consciously use it for better, ideally? Because otherwise, we are using it in a less effective manner. We are potentially using it for worse. So, this idea of being authentic, allowing your true nature, your divine nature, your inherent nature shine forth, means we have to stop hiding. And we tend to hide in manners that are a demonstration of what it means for us to be inauthentic. Now, if we're talking about authenticity, then the antithesis of authenticity is being inauthentic, which means we are in some ways being fake, false, we are being bogus, we are being phony. We're not being truly in integrity with that divine nature. So, do we know when we are doing so? Do we know when we are wearing a mask? Because if authenticity, as Brene Brown says, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be. Then inauthenticity is the daily practice of holding on to who we think we're supposed to be, who we were conditioned to believe we are supposed to be. Inauthenticity is the holding on as the daily practice. Pause. Because in this moment, we get to choose. My daily practice from this point forward is the letting go of who I think I am supposed to be in order to embrace who I truly am. Do I know my divine nature? Because if I don't know it, I don't know where to find it. I don't know where to discover it. If I don't know, then how am I supposed to embrace? That's like saying, I'm looking for someone by the name of Shakuhachi. Well, if I don't know what Shakuhachi looks like, I don't know where Shakuhachi lives, I don't know, I have no idea. Then how am I supposed to ever find Shakuhachi and embrace Shakuhachi? If I don't know what a chakra is, I don't know red, orange, yellow, I don't know the colors, I don't know where their centers are. How am I supposed to open the chakra and envelop the energy and let it, how I don't know how. So we have to start with, who are we? Understanding deeply, who am I? When I say that I am God incarnating itself in this individualized expression called me, what does that mean? Other than just being words, what does it really mean? And even let's take the divinity part off. My parents at my birth, or just prior to my birth, I believe, chose my birth name as Raymond. Originally, it was going to be Raymond, named after one of my mother's brothers, till he made her mad and she named me Raymond to spite him. Anyway, Raymond. Who is Raymond? Now, Raymond is my name, but is my name who I am? Shakespeare said a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So if I changed my name to Hikari, am I still who I am? Different name, but am I still who I am? Well, who am I? Right? So if we are going to embrace, if we are going to, be and embrace who we are, we have to know who we are. And then we put into place the daily practices of this, that's not me, let it go. That's not me, let it go. That is me, let me embrace it. And it becomes this daily practice. We are given the opportunity to choose, when am I being authentic? When am I being inauthentic? When am I hiding? When am I shielding? When am I putting a mask on? We are invited, almost as if Barbara Walters was sitting down with us, and she wanted to, here's the microphone, and she's interviewing. Who are you supposed to be? What would you say, Barbara? Who are you supposed to be? Ooh, that's a really good question. But wait a minute. Wait. So what? Where did I get the idea? Oh, I got the idea of who I'm. Okay, I'm supposed to be a good dad. I'm supposed to be a great teacher. I'm supposed to be. Okay, where did I get the idea? From my parents and teachers and culture and society and religion of my upbringing. That's where I'd say, what now? Who am I really? Barbara, why are you asking me these difficult questions now? Who am I really? Okay, so do you mean in the absolute? In the absolute, I am God. I am the universe expressing. In the individual, I am the universe expressing in, through, and as someone who is creative, someone who is athletic, someone who is intelligent, someone who is, I don't know, an artist. Okay, so I got where you want me to go. Okay. Who are you really? Breathe. Because that's the question, or those are the questions we are invited to ask ourselves. Who are you supposed to be? Where did you get that idea? And who are you really? Now, this is a very, very rare photo from a hospital that shows where each of us were. Oh, no, that's a Xerox machine. Exactly. We are not Xerox copies of anything or anyone. We're not. This is not where we were birthed. This is not where we were created. So let's stop trying to be carbon copies of someone else, trying to be like our role models, trying to be like our parents, trying to be like some teacher here, trying to be like some athlete there. Stop trying to be like them and be like, what was it saying? Be like Mike. No, let Mike be like Mike. You be like you. And when people approach you and say, hey, you've changed, remind them, yeah, we're supposed to. We are supposed to evolve and shift. I should not be the exact same person with the exact same beliefs as when I was 5 or 15 or 25 or 37. I should change. We are supposed to. If we are open at the top as consciousness, we are an ever evolving thing incarnating itself as us. That which is the universe is always changing, is always expanding, is always becoming more of itself. And it's incarnating as me. Then on this level, on the as the infinite on the finite, as the macro on the micro, I'm supposed to do that too. I'm supposed to do what my divine nature does. What it does in the absolute, I do in the personal. We're supposed to change. Are you willing to change? Carl Jung says, the privilege of a lifetime is becoming who you truly are. Becoming who you truly are. Shedding the masks, shedding the whatever that is of someone else's idea, someone else's indoctrination of you. Step into the space of true authenticity, true integrity with who and what you are. Be genuine, be legitimate, be truthful, be trustworthy, be reliable, be harmonious, and be congruent with your divine nature. That's what it means to have and to express authenticity, to be your authentic self. Now, what is this? It's a $50 bill, or it's an image of a $50 bill. So if I were to ask you, is it real? Yeah, granted, it's an image, so it's not a real $50 bill, but in the scheme of things, you know what I'm asking. Is it real or is it fake? Right? Is it real or is it fake? Is it live or is it Memorex? Now, in order to test this thing we refer to as counterfeit money, inauthentic money, fake money, fraud money, scam money, there's a test. Whether it passes or fails, It's how people know if it's counterfeit. What is your test to identify when you are being counterfeit, when you are being inauthentic? Do you have something in place, some kind of checks and balances to identify, when I was at that meeting yesterday, when I was at that job interview, when I was at that whatever it was, I was not being authentic. What made me decide to put a mask on? Or as we would say, why did I put a mask on rather than, do you have something in place? Because if you don't, then how do you know what you don't know when you don't know that you don't know? Otherwise, you're passing off funny money as though it's real, and it's not. Do we want to live that way? Young said, this privilege, the privilege of a lifetime, is living, being who you truly are. So, do we want to pass off something that's fake, inauthentic, or would we rather be authentic? Clearly, we can identify which is the real duck and which is the fake duck. Can we become so clear in our integrity that we know without a doubt? See, the counterfeit money, counterfeiters get so skilled and so good, it's hard to tell. Like there has to be a test. You put the little X with the special marker and it shows you which one's real, which one's counterfeit. This, you don't need a special test. We know what a real duck looks like versus a rubber ducky, you are fake. We clearly know. So what happens when we embody that we are so authentic, so in integrity that it is clear beyond a shadow of any possible doubt. This is who I am. Period. Are we willing? Are we able? Do we have the tools and the practices to create that level of authenticity? Breathe. Good old Gandhi says, be congruent, be authentic, be your true self. Didn't say do it. You must do congruency. You must do authenticity. No, there are practices to shake off the incongruous, the inauthentic, the untrue. There are practices to move through that. But the be congruent, it's your truth. It's what you already are. The absolute is already it. So be it. Like Jesus said, be ye therefore perfect, just as your Father in heaven who is perfect. Be it. Don't do it. Be it. You are whole, perfect, and complete. Be it. Be congruent. Be authentic. Be your true self. Now, when we talk about this idea of congruency or being congruent means to be in harmony, to be in agreement, but with what? If I'm going to agree, then I have to have something to agree to. If I'm going to be in harmony, then I have to be in harmony with something. If it's a choir and they're singing, rubber ducky, you're the one, and let's have lots of fun, lots of fun. I have to have something, have to, have to, I have to have something to be in harmony with. So the question is, if we are congruent, if we are in agreement, we are in harmony, then what are we in harmony with? The divine nature of God. What you are. Your soul belongs to the universe. You are in agreement with that. You are in harmony with that. You are congruent with that truth. You are the universe incarnating itself as you. Your mind is an outlet through which the creative intelligence of all that is, the entirety of the universe, moves in order to fulfill itself in expression. That is what you are. There is only one mind, and that mind is God. And that mind is your mind now. So your mind, the mind of the universe, the mind of all that is, creative intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, power, truth, and all, let it flow. Be it. Breathe. Be in harmony with it. Breathe. Agree to it. Breathe. And then walk that walk. Ziggy Marley says, yeah, I was tempted. Yeah, man, if you keep hiding your... If you keep, yeah, today's one of those days. If you keep hiding your true self, your life becomes like slow death. Pause. If you continue to hide your true self, then you are slowly killing yourself. Once you become free from the lies, once you become free from the masks, once you become free from the inauthenticity and the hiding of yourself, then life, there is only one life, and that life is God, and that life is your life now. Then life becomes vibrant again. Life becomes filled with joy. Life becomes filled with laughter. Life becomes filled with passion because you are free to live it. Breathe. True self. The life within you is God. Whatever is true of God is true of your life. And since your life and the life of God are not two, but one, one. The life within you, the life that is you, is God. Whatever is true of God must be true of you because it is true of your life. There is only one life. And since your life and the one life, your life and the life that is God, are not two, they are one, then what are you invited to be? What are you invited to do? How are you invited to show up? There is only one life, and that life is God. And that life is incarnating itself, showing itself as you, living itself as you right now. So your true self is the divine. Your true self is divinity, incarnating, individualizing. It is the universe itself living in, through, with, and as you. That is your true self. That's what it means to be authentic, to live as your true self, to live as your divinity, to live in agreement, understanding, to live in harmony, understanding, recognizing, appreciating, and celebrating that I am, say it with me, I am the divine, incarnating, individualizing. I am the universe itself, living in me, living through me, living with me, and showing up, living as me. Breathe. Because this is our invitation. We are invited to live into our true self more and more, moment by moment, thought by thought, breath by breath, word by word, interaction by interaction, minute by minute, second by second. Are there going to be times when we aren't mindful of this? Yes. I don't go around all day thinking, don't forget, your name is Ray. Remember, your name is Ray. Ray, Raymond, Raymond, Raymar, Ray, what's your name? Raymond. I thought your name was Raymond. What would make you? I don't do that. But it's always there. And anytime someone says, excuse me, sir, what's your name? It's always there. I don't have to, hold on, let me find it. Well, what's my name? My name is, no, that's Mike, Steve. Everybody loves Raymond. Oh, that's right. My name is Raymond. I don't have to go looking for it. It's always there. Is your true self always there? So at any moment, when there is that opportunity, when life asks you, who are you? It's right there. I am divinity in expression. Is that what you were told, or is that what you know yourself to be? At first, I was told. And then I learned, just like my name. At first, I was told what my name was, and I lived into it, and I understood my name. And then I understood what my name means for me. I understand why my mother named me Raymond. I don't claim that. Raymond means, the etymology of Raymond means one who is a mighty, powerful, and wise protector. That's a superhero. That's my name. I claim it as my nature. Our name is our nature. What is your name? God. What is your name? The universe. What is your name? Atman. What is your name? Brahma. What is your name? Om. What is your name? Love. What is your name? Peace. What is your name? I am the infinite that goes by any and all names, that is nameless and yet is the name of everything. I am the absolute expressing, I am that I am, and that is my name. Breathe. That is your true self. Breathe. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, for the soul's communication of truth is the highest event in nature, since it then does not give somewhat from itself, but it gives itself, or passes into and becomes, I should have changed the gender, becomes that man whom it enlightens. It passes and becomes that person whom it enlightens, or in proportion to that truth that individual receives, it takes to itself. The soul's communication of truth. One of our declaration of principles, one of our we believe says, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may be a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with that indwelling, I add indwelling and all dwelling divinity, the indwelling and all dwelling God. And then we become what we already are, a revealer of truth. So the soul's communication of truth is the highest event that could be. Do you allow your soul to communicate, to enlighten itself, to enlighten you as the incarnation, so that you are able to live, move, and have your beingness as this thing, so that you are able to receive truth? You hear it more resonantly, you live it more audaciously, you read it more clearly, you express it more unapologetically. There is no need to hide or lie or defend or mask or fake. Be open, be authentic, be transparent. Breathe. Brene Brown, courage is a heart word. The root of the word courage is cor, the Latin word for heart. In one of its earliest forms, the word courage meant to speak one's mind by telling all one's heart. Courage, speaking your truth. Courage, living your truth. Courage, speaking from the heart. Courage, sharing from the heart. Courage. The Cowardly Lion wanted courage because for him, courage meant being brave. Well, courage does mean being brave. It means being brave enough to take the information from the heart and to offer it to another. That takes courage, it takes bravery. Are we willing to do that? Because that's what it's going to take to heal the world. It's what it takes to heal ourselves. We take the medicine of the heart and we apply it to our own lives and our own bodies. We apply it to our families and our friends and our communities. Because when we are inauthentic, it's toxic. And if I offer inauthentic, if I offer, hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson, and I strongly recommend that you listen to everything that I say because I know everything, and everything I say is a word of God. So do as I say, and you're going to see right through that nonsensical, right? Because it's inauthentic. But you resonate, you connect more when I am more authentic to myself, with myself, as myself. When I allow that communication of the soul, that communication of the heart to move forward, then there's something that clicks. Like minds hear the same language, feel the same energy. We know we are of the same soul tribe, so to speak. We are of the same ohana. We are of the same family, and we are here to do the same work. But that only happens when we are authentic and have courage and are brave. You've changed. We're supposed to. Every single one of us has a different thumbprint, fingerprint, I'm assuming toe print, all of those prints. They're different. We are supposed to be different, and we are supposed to continue being different. When I was 15, I wasn't an author. Somewhere within the potentiality to be an author was there, but I wasn't an author until I published my first book. And in the publishing of that book, I became something different. And in the publishing of the second book, I became something different. In the selling of my first painting, I became something different. In the creation of my 10th painting, I became something different. I became something more. I evolved into something beyond words, but something more. We are supposed to change, evolve, and grow. And that takes courage. It takes heart. This week's practice, this week's offering for the Thursday night discussion group, the study group. Are you ready? Number one, what messages have you received from your family, from your friends, from whatever teachers, from religion, from the media, doesn't matter from who? What messages have you received from them about who they think you are, who they think you should be? Number two, are there people or situations where you find it difficult to be yourself? Where in your life are you not being authentic, or where do you tend to not be authentic? What are some of the ways that you can practice self-compassion to bring your courage, bring your heart to those situations? Three, what are your strengths? Are there situations where these strengths can nurture and support you when you may be experiencing tension or opposition or struggling to be authentic? Number four, what spiritual practices help you to access your authentic self? What spiritual practices nurture that ability to authentic self right here, right now? Breathe. And lastly, what does authenticity look like? What does authenticity, it says feel like, but let's go with what does authenticity look like? What does it sound like? And what does it feel like to you? Breathe. This week's declaration or affirmation, I will say it first. And if you agree with it, if you are congruent with it, if it resonates with you, then say it with me on our second go round. I love, honor, and accept myself exactly as I am. Together. I love, honor, and accept myself exactly as I am. Breathe. Exactly as I am. Exactly as I am. To honor, to accept, to celebrate, to recognize exactly as I am. Breathe as we prepare to pray out. Simply being in the presence of the isness and allness that is, because it's right here. It could be nowhere else. It's right here. So right where any of us are, the very power and presence of God, the source, the universe must be. That means right here where I am, this studio, right here where I am is hallowed ground. And right where each person watching right now is must be hallowed ground, because the divine is present, which means because there's only the divine, wherever any of us go, we, as the divine, are hallowed ground. Wherever I go, God is, and all is well. Wherever I go, the universe must be, and it is good. I live, move, and have my beingness as one who is courageous enough to be authentic, courageous enough to be transparent, courageous enough to allow my true self to be the only self that walks the walk, that shines forth, that speaks these words and lives this life. And knowing that what I say of me must be true for everyone else, because there's only one of us anyway. There is only one power and one presence, that which is God, that which is goodness itself. As Emma Curtis Hopkins said, my good is my God. These are interchangeable terms. Knowing that that which is all there is, then this word is true for everyone watching now, whenever that now may be. I breathe in the gratitude of knowing this true self is the only real self. And I allow this true self to be the only self that speaks, that feels, that thinks, that serves. I have no need for the inauthenticity of what others have expected or wanted me to be. I choose to be what I am, and I am that infinite expression of the one. I am that I am. And I breathe gratitude. I breathe knowing that as this thing called our Sunday message comes to an end and we prepare to go into our Zoom room to chat, and as we go throughout the rest of our day and the rest of the week, we do so by cultivating authenticity, by nurturing our authenticity, by serving humanity in an authentic, in a congruent, in a harmonious manner. Breathe, because the law says yes. It says yes to all of it. And because it says yes, then that means it's already answered. It's already done. We already live as answered prayer. And how great and glorious and marvelous is that realization. I breathe and allow this breath to cultivate authenticity. I breathe and allow this breath to be the very demonstration of answered prayer. It is so, and so it is. Namaste, blessings, much love, everybody. I will see you over in Zoom. Go log in.